It's not about what I need from you or want from you. I'm not asking you for anything. It's what I don't want. I don't want you to spoil our connection because you have trauma that you haven't dealt with, and I know that you feel the same way. I do have trauma and I do have pain, but when I speak to you, it's always from a place of healed energy, and it's always from a place with healing intention. I respect and admire your solidarity and your independence. That is what makes you so beautiful to me. I know that you do not want me to speak to you from a place of healing because you want to do that work yourself. I understand. I wish that I could help you see me in a better light and understand me so that we could fix this. I cannot open your mind or shift your perspective, and you ask me not to deepen this connection. You have it ingrained in your head that I do not respect your boundaries, all the while missing the clear signs that I do respect your boundaries when I leave things out of a conversation with you. We try to read in between the lines of each other, but we are not books and we're not meant to be read. People often try to calculate or read situations and conversations instead of having them, but forget that we can speak with more than our mouths and our body language. We are the universe acting out against itself and working in favor of itself in tandem. We are so much more than the words that you have tried to reduce us to. I wish that you could understand me better so that I could take your pain away. You want to feel through this and to be in pain because you crave the growth, and that is another thing that I love about you. You are a fucking warrior. So please don't ever think for a second that I don't see you and respect you. Adversely, while accepting no responsibility over the pain that you've caused to both of us, you shut down the opportunity for healing. You want to know what it is that you have done so wrong. But if I were to dissect a conversation and tell you each part that tore open a healed wound, I wouldn't be respecting your boundaries. You asked me not to deepen this connection, so I can't explain what it is that you've done. This prevents me from healing from what you've done. You get to work on healing what it is that you have done within yourself, but I will never forget the feeling of my chest caving in on my break from work. I won't forget crying and opening up to a complete stranger in the parking lot because she saw me falling apart and I was all alone, as this experience has cost me everything. I won't forget the powerful feeling somebody that I didn't know and someone who didn't know anything about me sitting down to ask me what was troubling me in the most loving way, fully holding space for me where you couldn't. A very kind angel of a woman who had other things to do with her day made time to save a sobbing, broken child in the middle of the street. And yet, you couldn't stand to hear me speak my truth for 5 minutes. All while shaming me and wishing I could stand in my power and assuming me to be weak in some way, you were preventing me from standing in my power by trying to control the situation. I have never once claimed to be a perfect person or to be fully healed, but I know that I'm balanced because I spend every day of my life balancing myself. Every day has ups and downs. Every week has ups and downs. Every month has ups and downs. I deny no faults in this matter, but I am hyper aware that you do not know what my faults are. You have not opened yourself up to hearing me or acknowledging my issues. You have created the ones that you think I'm having in your head based on your perception of self, all while screaming projection from the rooftops and pointing at others. Anxiety is consuming. It's hard to fathom that somebody could give you information from a place that you've forgotten about. I only wanted to warn you, and I only wanted to protect you. You only wanted for me to stop trying to protect you until you realized what it was that I was trying to protect you from. The only person who can protect you is yourself and Source, yet Source placed me in your path. If you had only tapped into your intuition and followed the signs being sent to you, you would have understood sooner. There could have been less pain. Hypocrisy. You encourage me not to people please, but ask me to bow in silence before you while you relieve your own anxieties so that you can go about your day while leaving a heavy weight on my chest. You thought that you had conquered me in that moment. In your mind, you had faced something that you needed to face, and you were breaking through to the other side. This was going to project you in the right direction. This will remove the heaping weight from your chest. This was going to bring your clarity. Transference. Instead, you felt me pull away energetically and physically. You realized that you couldn't have your cake and eat it too. But you were fasting anyways. Funny how we're both always fasting these days. Or is that just anxiety and an upset stomach? Or is that just bad choices and poor communication? You felt a weight over the next few days because what goes up must come down. You left that weight with me, but it always finds its way back. Obedience. You expressed your need to control things and for people to bend to your will. You clearly communicated what you wanted and expected, and were shocked when I tried to tell you where I stood because this wasn't about me. It was supposed to be about you today. I sensed that in asking what you did wrong, you were already preparing a response and not actually open to listening. My intuition said, say less. Silence speaks volumes, and communication can be conveyed through just a look, especially when I look into your eyes. There is an intense honesty and passion in all three of them. The things that you can't verbalize are written in your retina. As your brain scribbles them out, I can see them inside of those eyes. I see you wholly, and I know that somebody did that to you. Someone has taught you this. Maybe a defense mechanism, or maybe just a learned behavior. Boundaries. Don't talk about it. Swallow that pill to avoid hurting me, but don't forget, that's people-pleasing. Respect you and please you is a very thin line with you. Sure as I am your mirror, you think the same is true about me. I was working hard at my prosperity, feeling a silly little sigh of relief that maybe I was crazy and the communication and confrontation wouldn't occur that day. My dreams and intuition both told me that it would. People in my physical reality said that it wouldn't. They had high hopes that it wouldn't, out of selfishness. Fearing what they would feel or how it would affect them, they have been gaslighting me for months. Who will ever respect my boundaries, my needs, my person? Only me. I can only trust myself. Don't they always say, it's lonely at the top? It doesn't have to be. On the battlefield. You saw me and came directly towards me while I had 5 minutes to myself to dance and feel free. You stopped in on my day to put me back in your cage. Mind you, I had fiddled that lock open 2 weeks prior and found my freedom. You came back to make sure that that lock was secure. I was fine in 1 minute. My boss watched me being happy and free and helpful. Then she watched me being shackled by you. And then she watched you storm through like a wrecking ball, leaving me at a disadvantage to my own pockets and essentially hers. And then I watched you all day, watching me. You were pulling at my energy when I was trying to pretend that you didn't exist. You stunted my growth and my productivity for the need to propel yourself forward. I am not the enemy, and I am not to be conquered. We could have helped each other to move in the same direction, but you demanded to be 10 steps ahead of others. Congratulations, Commander. The Medal of Honor you've earned is associated with a casualty. Greed. I watched you watching me, looking to see if I was watching too, questioning what it all means and if you made the right choices or said the right words. You didn't. There were no right words. Until that point, you did all of the talking, and so did I, but neither of us really heard anything other than our own mind stirring. We are so alike that it hurts. To absolutely face yourself hurts. You confuse me so much. I read cards and people effortlessly, but I like the mystery that is you, and I don't try to pick it apart too much. I know that the pages will turn on your time. That's the respect that I have for you that you can't seem to see. Victim mentality. You talk about victim mentality, but you don't acknowledge that you keep acting like I'm doing something to you. Don't you remember that you did this to me? You started all of this. You triggered it. You were thinking with organs other than your heart and expected me to follow suit on your terms. You treated me like a plaything because you didn't see what was right in front of us both. Once you set this in motion, there was no way to turn the wheels back, and I couldn't help myself. I wasn't supposed to. And because I didn't help myself in that moment, I helped us both in a greater sense. Thank me instead, and thank the universe for this, while you're in Noche Oscura, as they call it, the dark night of the soul. Know that there's a purpose behind it, even though you don't understand that purpose yet. Baggage. I know that things are happening for me and not to me, but it is my deep diving into the pain and into my dark feelings that allows me to be the creative person that you admire. It is the darkness that I have endured that helps me and my light to shine so bright. You cannot have half of me because I do not give half of myself to anyone, or anything for that matter. I am a whole package. I come wrapped as such. If you cannot accept this package as is, it does not come in parts. You cannot find any other like this package. It is one of a kind. If you cannot accept my darkness and my baggage, then there is nothing more to say. Every person who has ever come into my life has had to accept both parts of me, and the ones that have are still by my side. I have 15-year friendships. Nothing that is good or worth it is ever easy. The things that we put time and effort into, they strengthen and they stay. I would like to face adversity together, but for now, you don't want to do that. You want to do it alone, so I respect you, and I release you. Release, but I'll never let this go. This will be something I remember for the rest of my life, for the rest of my lovers, for the rest of my friendships, and for the rest of eternity. Any pain that I have felt in this connection will reverberate throughout my entire being for the rest of my existence, until I find myself in this situation in the next life again with you. Every time we repeat the cycle, it becomes harder and harder in the next life, but the story becomes greater and greater each time until we get it right. Surrender. Our love story is so great. The Notebook pales in comparison. Many will cry watching this love blossom, including the ones who doubted and including the ones who believed. It is going to shake us both to our core, but at some point, that's going to start to feel good. Again. If we allow it. We just have to learn to let go of control. The Divine Creator knows our true purpose, and we need to learn to surrender to that because everything else, up until the moment that we do, is resistance. You are resisting the change as the momentum is picking up, and you're propelling yourself in the wrong direction by trying to hold on to control with something that does not want to be tamed. I think about lecturing you, but instead I write it down because it's a lecture that I need to read to myself. Sure as I am your mirror, I am doing the same things wrong as you. Just open your heart and learn how to truly love people as they're asking to be loved. People deserve that. But if you can't love me the right way, just let me go. I cannot keep going on this winding road with you. You energetically are still attached to me, even though you tell me that the opposite is true and it hurts us both. I cannot live in shadows, and I will always speak my truth. I'm selective with who I share my energy, because I do not want everybody to know how I move in this world, but I am always honest with those that are around me. I keep my hands at 10 and 2, but I let you control the gas pedal because we are driving at your pace. I'm comfortable with this until you slam on the brakes, and we both realize a moment too late that I'm not wearing a seatbelt. My heart exposed and my person untethered. I've been ejected. Don't bring sunflowers to my funeral. You've taken all of the sun out of this for me. Nothing can grow here. They will only wilt in a few days. Useless. What's the use of this gift? You can't heal what's already dead. Afterthought. I'm scared that not right now means not in this life. I don't want to do that again. Losing you is losing hope. You are the reason that I come around. You are also the reason that I stay away.